Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy March 1st, everybody. Rolling in. We'll let people come in. Don't forget to say hi as we roll into live stream. I've got so many cords here. Move my headphones, tangling up. Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Crew live stream. It's a Wednesday, midweek. Happy hump day. If you're watching on the replay, thank you. And if you want to join us live, we go live Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock to about 8:45. Have a good conversation, TFSAs, investing, all sorts of things. It's always a lot of good time. Coffee in hand, of course. And we're at the start of a new month, which is great. February went fast, and then January slow, February fast. We'll see how March goes. I guess maybe the start of spring-ish. We'll have to see if the weather seems to be improving. Had a nice kind of warm day yesterday, snow melting a little bit, so that's a good sign. But we'll see how things go. Let's say good morning. We got a little bit to talk about today. There's always something to talk about, but I've got a few things obviously to bring up. But it's not just about me. If anybody has comments, if you are on the live stream, fire them away into the comment section. It's always great to have a conversation, not just me talking. It's as much about your input as well. So if you have anything on your mind, fire it in there. Let's go. And of course, if you haven't liked the stream yet, hit the like button. Always good, helps out the stream. And if you're new, one more last announcement. If you are new, welcome, and don't be afraid to say good morning and ask questions. If I can't answer the question or steer you in the right direction, there's a good chance, guaranteed, that someone in the chat will be able to steer you in the right direction if you have any kind of investment or question, comment. There we go. Let's go see who's here. Candace, always the first. Candace, always the first. You beat Candace is always so quick. She beats me to the stream. I think she's always up early trading, so that's maybe a bit of an advantage for Candace. But I think I don't think there's been many days when I've popped in, Candace, and you haven't said your good morning yet. So it's early, and even Paul almost had Candace this morning, and about 5 minutes late. So you got to wake up a little bit earlier, Candace, or sorry, Paul, and you might beat Candace to the punch there on joining the live stream. There she goes, 5 minutes. There we go, 5 minutes. And let's go. Who else is rolling in here? Let's see here. Lots of comments coming in. One sec. Nadia, good morning. Good to have you here, Nadia. Thank you. A channel member, always appreciated. And Candace as well, channel member. That's what those little blue stars show up on their name. So appreciate it. If you are a channel member, you haven't caught it yet, I posted a couple of community posts over on the membership tab. And also a video yesterday, so you can check that out. The video is for members only, so you can kind of check that out. Little peek on basically what you can expect as a member. So you can definitely check that out. And Abigail, happy March, happy March. And I loved how the pun jokes keep coming. We did march into a new month. Pretty good. We'll get to Candace. We'll get to your ChatGPT joke after the good mornings. Chat, always good to have you here. Good day, all. And Best Weirdo, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, and thanks for liking. Always appreciated. The weather. I maybe jumped the gun there, Candace. The Weather Network says the winter is going to persist. Was that what's the groundhog? Did he see a shadow? Is it when you see your shadow, he goes away for another whatever time? Yeah. The groundhog. That's what it is. I forget what his name is. Good morning, Stan. Always good to have you here. Awesome. And there we go. Sean, last but not least, I saw coming through the comments. Good morning. Always good to have everybody here. All good. We have to get Candace's ChatGPT joke in, though, of the day. Why goes with weather. We're talking about weather in March, spring flowers. ChatGPT joke with the day. Why did the weatherman invest in the stock market? Because he heard there was a high profit system moving in. That one's actually not bad. That's not bad, actually, that one. Not super terrible. Those are good. I love those in the morning. I laugh when I see those pop up. I always laugh. These stupid pun jokes as we go. TD, I haven't seen what's happening with TD. Chad. I know some of the earnings and stuff are coming out for some of the financial institutions in Canada. I think it was Royal Bank today, National Bank, and I guess maybe TD. I haven't looked a ton at the news. Still being early, but yeah, Willie is his name. Yeah, that's what it is. Isn't there one in the States too? I can't remember. If we believe all those, it's like superstitions, or if it's accurate, or if it's we need some kind of we need some kind of trigger for what the market, if something pops, if a groundhog pops up on a day and he doesn't see a shadow, it's a good day for the market, or something like that. I don't know. There we go. So big day, 1st of March is, as you know, if you're following the channel, I did my regular, it's that StreamYard challenge where I've canceled for the year. I'm going to keep doing this for longer than a year. I think it's turning out okay. Canceling the subscription. So the challenge at the beginning of the year was to basically just before the beginning of the year, but to do it for a year, cancel some kind of subscription. So it was kind of a challenge to also people on the channel, if they're able to cut something out, right? Netflix, Disney, some kind of thing, and put it into a stock or ETF of your choice, or one you have already, that kind of thing, just to see what it goes. But I put it into, the community decided actually to put it into Brookfield Asset Management, BAM. And of course there was that whole spinoff, went through. So now I'm still putting it into BAM, but it's the new BAM and the old BAM is still sitting there. It's super weird. I did that this morning anyways, but being half awake and not paying attention, I transferred the money. So it was about 30, it worked out to be 30, it's like $33 now, just over $33 of Canadian. And so I transferred that into the account, but then I also received dividends, and the dividends I received, actually dividends on the note of dividends, I'll do post on my community tab for members, all the dividends that came in through for February. So you can catch those there as well. So I'll keep those updated. But I had dividends in there from TransAlta Renewables, and also Div came in, so a couple bucks from that. And not paying attention, I transferred the money into Wealthsimple. Obviously didn't have enough coffee, and I had the funds in there, and I'm like, oh, that's good, okay, I got enough. And I looked at, I've been wanting for a while now to start to build my position on BEP, Brookfield, the renewable one. And of course, not paying attention, I'm like, oh, I've got enough, I'll just buy a full share instead of doing the fractional purchase this month. So I bought a share of BEP.UN, and then I looked at it and I go, I just bought the wrong share. So sticking to my plan, I did another deposit and bought a fractional share, just over $33 of BAM. So long story short, continuing on with the long-term, canceling StreamYard, carrying that on for a year. It's in BAM, and I've got an extra share of I have an extra share of BEP. So there we go. That was what I did my morning. Obviously, I should do this before I have, or after I have more coffee to wake up. And is Nova Scotia? I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, Candace. I'm not even going to attempt that. Something Sam. Shubenacadie Sam, I guess, maybe. I don't know. And good morning, Trevor. Good to have you here. All good. Hopefully everybody's well. On the note on TFSA, I actually also did I did do another deposit move over, and I did do some purchases as well of a couple of things. I will be sharing that later. I'll keep that. I have to kind of get that all organized to what I did purchase, but I was able to get a few things that I wanted to get, so that's good. And we'll carry on with that, because I'm going to have an update video for the portfolio later on today. I'll get that filmed today or tomorrow, and then we'll have that on there. So add it on there. And that's the one from the States. So good. And Vic, good morning. Happy March, Vic. Good to have you here. Always good to have you here. Good morning. Hopefully you're well. So I don't know. I did my purchase. Did anybody, I guess the question for everybody that's watching, did you buy anything today? Did you move anything around? Did you, what's on everybody's radar for today that you've done? Let me know down in the comments, and we'll go from there. and was, as we're waiting for the comments and what people are doing with their portfolios, I do have kind of the big news today. Let's pull this up. Hopefully the screen share works today. It does. It does work. There we go. And we'll go. Phil, yeah. Pause. Yeah, I can't even pronounce it. Can't even pronounce the first one. Tongue-tied this morning, Trevor. But the good news for today. Well, it's not, maybe not good news yet. We have to wait and see what happens. It's Tesla Investor Day, so that's going to be all kind of the news. What people are. I mean, my news feed is probably the algorithm, but all Tesla Investor Day. It happens today at after market closes. It apparently starts 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Pacific time, 3 o'clock Central time. It's always confusing with these time zones. They are going to be streaming it on YouTube. Probably going to watch that, or as the best I can when I'm still working. But I'll have that on, kind of maybe in my headphones, where they'll be talking about. This is kind of what's hopefully will be good for Tesla, because their goal, obviously, we can talk about this. Is what's kind of, we'll know more this afternoon. But long-term goals to produce 20 million cars by the year 2030, and also too, there's ramp up for their factories, Austin in Texas, in Berlin. There's plans for expansion in Shanghai, and I believe in reading the news, it's kind of rumored that Mexico is here as well, talking about possibly getting a factory in Mexico, and also Indonesia. So maybe we'll hear more about that today. Might be good news for people that hold Tesla. I hold Tesla in the CDR and also in the Tesla yield shares. And then their third generation platform may be coming out. We'll have to see what comes with that. That's talking about like the cheaper. We talked about this a little bit yesterday on the stream. They're kind of cheaper platform, maybe more subcompact type car, with better for mass volume production. So we'll see what happens with that one. And then he, in typical Elon fashion, right, always teases something. Master Plan 3, the path to full sustainable energy for Earth, will be presented on March 1st. The future is bright, so we'll have to see what that is. Basically, a teaser. We'll know more this afternoon for sure, and see what they have to say. Those are always kind of interesting to watch on the when they're happening kind of live. To interesting to see what happens, and yeah. And yeah, Vic, I did see some of the banks not doing well. I think, although National Bank, I think, is doing okay. Things can always have changed. I think National Bank was doing the only one. Yeah, I think National Bank's doing okay up to today. I think if I remember correctly, Candace sold. I forget what you sold, Candace. I think you sold. Or you mentioned you got out of something and got into National Bank. I think it was maybe CIBC, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember. If you're watching, let us know. And lots of comments. I'll get to everybody here for sure. Skiz416. What's my end game goal for my investing? Well, my end game goal is to retire eventually. That's of course the end goal. In terms of my TFSA, the goal for this channel and this investment, like my TFSA self-directed investment, is to get the balance up to through investing and dollar cost averaging, and then is up to $100,000. That's my goal. That's my obviously that's not the end game of this portfolio, but that's the goal as kind of just starting this channel and going through. I think it will probably take me at least, the channel's been going for 2 years. The balance is up to about roughly $14,000. I'm going to assume it's probably going to take, aggressively, maybe 7 years, probably 7 to 10 years. I guess it's hard to know. Sometimes there's just not as much funds to be able to put into the TFSA. As we know, everything's more expensive now. Inflation, so is not always enough money at the end of the, paycheck to put into investing in TFSA. But I'm doing kind of what I can, slow and steady. But I do have the goal. Like my goal for the portfolio is $100,000 to have in there. But my goal for this year is to put a minimum of $100 a week, and I'm doing that. If if you're new to the channel, I'm putting that into basically, every Monday I buy one, or depending if I forget, but every week I buy one share of VDY. I buy a share of the Purpose High Cash ETF, and then the remaining leftover from that $100 I put into VFV, which is the S&P. I do a fractional purchase of that. So that's my goal. And Vic bought TPZ. What are we buying here, Vic? I have to look. TPZ, Turtis Power and Energy Infrastructure Fund. Okay, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one before. There you go. It is spun off from. Is it Torlamine? A while back. There we go. Good call. Chad, I think that's maybe, Bank of Nova Scotia was down yesterday, so the people that are in and like the bank stocks, I guess it was a good day to be able to average into there for sure. And if you're something that you're regularly buying, probably not a bad thing. Obviously, not do your research, that the standard disclaimer. But I guess that was for a good day. I know there's quite a few people on the channel that really like the bank stocks. I do too. The only reason, Chad, I think most people kind of know, is I haven't purchased them individually because it's pretty heavily weighted in VDY. Is all the financials are in there for that. So I haven't bought any individual banks, but good call. There you go. Might be some opportunity. And then you also bought, so Bank of Nova Scotia, Tesla, VDY, VFE, SCHD, and ITE. Oh, good call. There you go. Good call. Yeah, this week I bought, earlier this week I did get VDY, got a share of that. And you also got TD. Good call. BYD, BYD. Going back to Tesla and stuff, that was brought up a lot by I think it's Warren Buffett and the other guy, Charlie Munger. They were talking about BYD. That's the Chinese manufacturer. Yeah, we'll have to see, Vic. Definitely have the market there is good. It's what will happen is if it gets. We'll have to see. Time will tell, right? That's the thing. And Tesla, I have a Tesla play running today to see if I can play the build up. Yeah, I got into, again, back into my extra deposit. I actually put some into to build up my position. I do really like that Tesla yield, so I got more of that. I think that's long term. I think that's going to be a good one long term. So that's how I'm going in my TFSA, Candace. But I think you're right. It did have a drop, and I think it will build up as hopefully as the day, not necessarily even the day, like as the years go on. Hopefully hold that. So we'll see what happens. And what is my idea of rich? Well, I don't necessarily plan to be rich. I just plan to be, I think, not have to worry about working till I'm 80. That's the goal, I think, Chad. Definitely not rich by any standards. But I think the goal is to be comfortable, and that's my goal, and not have to. I love working. My job, fortunately, I can. It's not overly physical. It's not a physical job at all. I used to be in definitely a job that was on my feet and stuff all day, but I'm at a desk, so I am fortunate enough. I work from home, and it's the type of job I'll be able to do as I get older. I'm 47. I'm not necessarily anywhere near retirement age, but it's going to come fast. And I'd like to be, technically like rich enough to be able to scale back work. That's the goal. That's the goal. By the time I'm 65 would be nice. Might not be realistic depending on how things go or whatever else, but yeah, that's my idea. And also, in terms of rich, I'm so far been fortunate enough to be in good health, right? That's kind of just as important as money, sometimes more important, because if you're rich with money but have your health is bad, or your family's health is not good, money's not, money's not everything. And there we go. I think I was right. Yeah. Oh, so I said CIBC, Candace. Sorry, but Bank of Nova Scotia. Okay, there you go. Bank of Nova Scotia for National Bank. That was, I think, before the drop off too. So good call, good play there. Good play. And Bank of Nova Scotia is paying 6% dividends. Yeah, I think the banks are going to be in for. Obviously, they're building up their, loss provisions for having possible defaults on stuff, and yeah, I still invest in the banks through BTC.Y. I don't see an issue getting banks, but we'll have to, it's just, I think people being cautious this year for sure. I also bought a RBC Asian Equity mutual fund because a particular account I can only buy mutual fund. It must be a work investment or maybe something like that. I know there's sometimes things like that. I had when I was in. This is long ago. When I worked at a hotel, I was in the pension there, and you had to do it. It was through Sun Life, and it was mutual funds as well. Yeah. And Eamon Day, good morning. Good to have you here. Thank you. Welcome. You bought a Y yield, Google yield, Tesla, and Tesla CDR. They're kind of the same I have in my holding. I actually just started to build up and buy a bit of the Google yield that I want to add to, because I think Google in the long term, it's kind of, the dividends will hopefully be nice, but also might hopefully that goes up a bit in value, as hopefully Google, we'll have to see with AI, that kind of thing, what's happening. And then the Tesla yield, yeah, I like that. And then Tesla CDR, it's good call. I think that's all good. Kind of three of the same that I have in mind. And left before the big drop, more motivated by the potential growth in National Bank. Lots of comments here. Sorry, here. One sec here. Got to go back. If I miss something, I'll get to it. In the UK, I haven't seen that yet. Limiting the amount of produce you can buy. I haven't seen that on the news yet, Vic. And that's for Candace. I don't know. You'll have to. I know Vic with Candace. She does have a channel membership as well, and I know she gives a lot of insights. I joined Candace's channel yesterday as a member, and I wish I did it earlier, because she gives some good insights and stuff, and some good posts on you can see what she's doing. Almost, day by day for sure. What she's thinking on her in her community posts for members. So, a little shout out to Candace. There's some good tidbits and nuggets of information on her members tab. And there we go. No plans to move back in. I think you're probably right there. Chad. After everything settles down, maybe rates start to pivot. I think we're going to have that pause in March. But I think we'll have to see what happens in the year, next 12, 18 months. Yeah, for sure. I think you're right. My birthday. Yeah, my birthday was in January, end of the month. So I'm 40. I have to always calculate it now with a calculator. Almost 47. There we go. My day job. Yeah, we talked about it before. It's on a couple. Go back and search some of the past live streams. Vic, I work in the mortgage industry, but more you can. I talked about it quite a bit. I'm more in the alternative and more so private financing side. I work for a private mortgage lending company, brokerage. Like as an underwriter. And yeah, okay. Well, there you go. I'd like to work less too. I like my job though. I enjoy it. I work with the partner that I work with. We work well together. We've worked together in various things for, over 13 years, So it works well. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, if you want to move from, if you can go from full-time to part-time, that would be kind of nice. The thing is too, you always have to kind of do something, right? And I think you have to make sure, I mean, this is the thing, if, being comfortable rich, or whatever you want to call it, if you have you have your health, but you also, if it gives you time to do your your hobbies and some kind of passions, right, to keep yourself busy, that's definitely a good thing. Sometimes not working is bad, just depending on what you're like. I know I can kind of speak for with my dad. He worked all the time, right? From that generation, it was, he worked 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, for as long as I remember as a kid. He would go get in, commute to work, come back, and that's what he did. He he was laid off. This is back in the early 90s, but he ended up getting another job, and he started working. He was in sales, so he was on the road a lot, but he worked from home, and he worked a long time. He worked till he was in his 70s, I want to say. But as soon as he retired, because he's so used to working, his health really declined after he retired, unfortunately. So sometimes work keeps you going too, right? And he unfortunately didn't have a lot of necessarily hobbies or different things to do. He did some certain things, but his purpose almost was like working all the time. So it's kind of sad sometimes with retiring, that you want to make sure you keep yourself busy, and he didn't keep himself busy enough, and I think that was part of his health decline. I mean, he's in his 80s now, but yeah. And Chad's a journeyman bricklayer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew a bricklayer as well. Hard work, believe me, hard work. Good for you. I think there's probably lots of jobs though as journeyman, as in construction and that kind of thing. Especially if you specialize. Looks like you're a specialist in refractory. So there's probably always going to be work for you. That's probably a good sign in the trades. Yeah, keyboard. I'm a keyboard pusher too. It's definitely not as strenuous. I get tired with my eyes sitting in front of the computer all day, or your back. Poor me, but that's the thing. It can be tiring, or your brain. It's interesting how these different jobs affect your physically or mentally different ways, right? Usually it depends. If it's a busy day, my mind is usually mush, and I can't look at any more numbers or anything like that by the end of the day sometimes. But yeah, plans when I turn 50? No. Maybe midlife. I don't know, midlife crisis, not really. I don't think I'll be buying a convertible or anything like that, Vic. Just roll on. Pretty happy with where I am right now. So, but it is coming fast. I used to bug my brother. I've got an older brother, and I used to bug him. He's 6 years older, and when he turned 50, and of course I get there pretty quick behind him. So, and yeah, it does. I think that's the thing. A lot of that younger generation is getting into other industries, right, that aren't necessarily trades and that kind of stuff. I think trades are a good thing to go into. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I got out of high school, I was in my journeyman for cooking, right? I mean, obviously it's not as physical as type of construction or anything like that, but it's similar you go through the apprenticeship and the training and all that kind of stuff. And it was great out of high school because all my friends, a lot of them, well, some of them went to university or college, or if they didn't, they were working whatever job, nothing part-time or doing whatever. And I started a job. I had a job at a hotel. It was, at the time, it was a union job, so the pay was great. So coming out of high school, all of a sudden I'm making all this money. It was great. I should have been smarter and started investing more back then, believe me. But if you're not, yeah, if you're not rich enough to be the philanthropist, then you have to be just. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, to be able to do that. But yeah, long hard. Maybe win the lottery. But that's not a good investment plan either. You'd be better off. I think you'd be better off putting what is I don't even know what a lottery ticket costs these days. I mean, it's scratch tickets, but how much is a Super 7 or 649 cost? I don't even know. $10 or something like that. You'd be better off putting that $10 every week into, every week into the S&P. I think than buying. You'd be better odds to do that every week than the lottery. I don't ever really buy lotto tickets. Sometimes I see it if it's like a huge jackpot, and if I happen to be in the gas station or something driving to go get gas, I'll get one, but very rarely. And of course, never win. So 7 days a week. Oh, I see. And then 21 days on, 2 off. Working. I would, yeah. I guess it depends how you look at it. Yeah, it depends. If you can, I guess it's success if you can buy the car with cash and not have to take a loan to buy the car. It's a crisis if you have to take a loan. We talk about that. A lot. Car payments, because I just paid off my car end of last month. So we do talk about car payments a lot on here. Skiz 416. So it's a successful midlife crisis if you can buy a Corvette. The new ones are nice. I'm not a car person, but I've seen what they look like, and it's a crisis if you have to get a loan for it. So there we go. See how it works. I'm not sure how old you are, how close. And you probably shouldn't be watching and typing the live stream when you're driving, Chad, for work. Yeah, I'm not a trader though. Maybe that's not me. I'm not smart enough for that yet. We'll see how that comes in. Whether I never say never, but not my thing. More of a long-term holder, for better or worse sometimes, I guess. But we'll see. Well, no, I mean, there's a few things I'll be looking to trade eventually, but not falling in love with stuff. But we'll see what happens. And hello, what's up? Uriah, welcome to the channel. It's all good. Lots of comments today. I think I got everybody. Hold on, let me scroll through here. I think I got most of the ones. If I miss something important, I'll pull them up. Good call. I love it. Makes the stream go so much easier when everybody's chatty and talking. It's great. I love these conversations with everybody. Obviously, as we get here, don't forget, if you are in here and haven't hit do the one shout out, hit the like button. Helps out the channel, gets it out. It's always nice to have helps new people find the channel and carry on, which is good. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I find too. Day trading for algorithms. Yeah, I mean, I know Candace is that's her gig. She's a day trader. It works for her. It's not for me. I don't have the time to spend on it. You definitely have to pay attention. That's got to be your job, because if you're distracted or working on something else, I don't think it's the right thing. It's definitely not right for me. I do know that. So that's with that. It's that's even too sometimes, kind of. I mean, I do have individual stocks in my portfolio, but like some of the things, like it sometimes works out better for me to like ETFs just as well than individual stocks. It takes a lot of that pressure off picking the right ones and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's not for me. I'm not a day trader. I don't think I ever will be. Maybe if I am rich and retired and have no, I don't think so. I don't think I ever will be. I find it interesting, but I know it's not for me. I think you kind of know, not something I even want to test out. I'm not even sophisticated enough or have learned enough yet to play even with options, that kind of stuff. Not my thing. I'd rather let something like Tesla yield, let the ETF let them do that type of trades for me for that kind of thing. And obviously you pay for it, but that's where I'm at. And there we go. And I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I had to let my cat out. She sometimes likes to help on the live stream, and then halfway through, I usually kick her out in the morning. She sits beside my desk here, but she was sleeping, so I didn't want to. So silly, I didn't want to kick her out, and she woke up and then was scratching at the door. I'll share a picture over on my community tab later for people. So you can see the cat that's here. She's pretty good usually for live streams. If she's usually sleeps, she'll either sleep through the whole thing, or she'll wake up halfway through. And let's go. I had one more article to share, and let's pull that up in my tab here, and there we go. And as always, obviously keep the comments coming through. We'll get to any comments that I miss. But housing, we've talked about housing a lot. Interest rates, we talk about it a lot. According to the newest poll, we'll see what happens. Canada home prices to drop another 12% in 2023. Still remains unaffordable for many. Yeah, that's no surprise there. Housing is expensive in Canada, and I think, well, in certain cities and provinces especially, but it's projected to drop. Prices coming down, grinding down. I'm seeing that, and it's obviously with the rates. If anybody's looked at mortgage rates lately, if you've had to go and renew your mortgage or do something with your mortgage, it's getting expected. And average right now, housing prices Canada is roughly 15% from their early peak of 2022, and which is crazy, but what we're looking back to is prices are still like from pre 2020. We were getting basically like over 50% increases in home prices. It was just not so with what the prices are. So they're starting to correct, starting to come down. We'll have to see what happens. It's definitely tough out there for not even just for first time buyers, for I think any buyers. It's definitely pricey out there for sure. And good call. I'm the same way. I mean, I do like the dividends. The ETFs make it easy, right? They take a lot of the pressure off of picking. If perfect example, VDY. And if you want to invest you want to invest in Canadian market, typically it's a lot of energy, telecoms, financials, right? That's the big chunk of it. So it covers it all, and it makes it a lot easier to kind of go, instead of you want to dollar cost average into things, or continually purchase the ETFs make it. I think it makes it, number one, makes it easier, but also takes a lot of the emotion out of it as well, because you buy it and it'll diversify for you, instead of trying to decide what bank you buy that week or month or whatever, and worrying about that kind of stuff. So it's I think we're on the same page. ETFs are quite popular. I know a lot of people in the coffee the coffee crew. Some people just have ETFs. Broad market with different ETFs. XEQT is a really popular one. Covers all your bases, right? So can I do a live cat cam? Yeah, I could. She'll never cooperate though. Cats never cooperate. She's kind of new. Well, she's an older cat, but she's new here, adopted. I always get the adopted cats from the SPCA or wherever. So she's good. But I usually get older cats, usually like senior cats. The last cat I had was a senior. We only had him really for just over a year, unfortunately, and he passed away. And then a little bit later, we adopted this one. And she is, I think she's around 7. They don't really know, but she's definitely got more energy than the old guy used to have. But she's good. She's good. Starting, yeah, I don't know. Is it? And Country Auto Garage, good to have you back. It's we are starting to see. You see, it's interesting. There's always going to be someone saying it's a good time to buy everything else. And you're starting to see those ads. We buy homes. Okay, like the people trying to get it up. Yeah. It's hard to know. I don't know if it's necessarily it's prices, like prices are down, but affordability, yeah, it's way up because the interest rates are way higher. Such an increase, like doubled basically in this last year, right? So it definitely is unaffordable for that, and the prices we're seeing come down because that's the only thing people can afford to qualify and buy. If the prices are too high, it's and that's the thing. $2 million home now 1.76 with a 5% rate. Yeah, it's still expensive. It's still expensive. Believe me. Yeah, it's still expensive for housing. It was definitely running up with those super low rates with people, unfortunately. And I don't know if there's any short-term solution to improve that, but we'll have to see what obviously pans out in the years ahead. What happens? Yeah. All right. Whoa. Already almost 1:45. Thanks everybody. This is great. It's always fun when these live streams they've started out. I will admit they started going faster and faster. By all means, it's pretty crazy how quickly these can go. And I do appreciate everybody that kind of comes on. We started these off. We're on the 100th and what is this 102nd episode, which is crazy. And each it's almost like each time there's more comments, there's more people joining, there's more people watching the replay, which is awesome. So I do appreciate everybody that takes their time out of their morning out of their morning when they're can be anywhere, and they take the time to join and watch this live stream. I do really appreciate it as I'm clicking through my windows here. It's always a fun way to start my day. It gets me motivated. It's nice to hear what other people are saying about how they're feeling with the market and what they're doing with their TFSAs. We are coming up to the end though. So one thing I did want to bring up before, and I will bring it up tomorrow because I wanted to talk about this. So we're kind of running out of time. Is the first? I found a really good thread on that first home buyers, that new savings account that's coming up for first time buyers. I found a really good thread on Twitter, so I'll pull that up for tomorrow, and we'll talk about that one for the savings because I was very kind of like whatever about it, but after this financial planner broke it down, there might be some opportunities for people that are watching this that even if you're not necessarily planning to buy a house with it, but to use it to your advantage, to save, room in your RSP, all this kind of stuff. So there might be some. I'll pull that up for tomorrow. I'll kind of. I'll break it down first, but it's quite a long thread to talk about. So that will be talked about for sure. It was really good. Yeah, if you look back at those that's the thing. Prices just keep going up and up and up. Toronto, I have a friend in Toronto who works in the mortgage industry. Rob, he's been on the channel. We should have him back. He knows the Toronto market really well. But yeah, it's definitely crazy. I'm on the West Coast here, and it is Vancouver is very expensive for sure. So tune in tomorrow. I will get that up, and if I have to just kind of get it summarized. It's FSHA, that's what it's called. It was a really good thread. It makes me want to really pay more attention to it. So And I almost got priced out by people coming from Toronto. Are you in? I know Alberta is quite busy now, I think, or prices with real estate. If I'm not mistaken. I know because people go where the houses are cheaper. And I was in Alberta for a bit, but it's always boom and bust there. So it's the unfortunate thing about Canadian real estate is people were treating it like not necessarily as shelter, but more as like an investment. Prices always go out flipping houses. So hopefully that will stop now, and that will start to hopefully improve things for the longer term. But it's hard to say. It's really hard. I don't know. I'll put that up there, Vic. If you keep getting notices with new issues with RBC Direct Investment, anybody know? If anybody knows, let Vic know. I don't have that. I don't bank with RBC. I don't have RBC accounts or investments, Vic. So I couldn't tell you. On that one. Yeah. And I think you're right. I think it's April. I think it's starting April 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look in to double check the date on that one, but we'll definitely talk about it. Bring that up. It was good. Oh, you're Windsor. I don't know all the areas in Ontario. I know Toronto. That's it. So I don't know if that's actually east or west or north of the city of Toronto. I'm not really sure. The Alberta of Ontario. Okay, there you go. Yeah. I've only been to Ontario a couple times, so I don't know. I don't know it that well. And Vic's in Chatham. Vic is in Chatham. There we go. All right. Did I want to pull? Let me just see if I wanted to pull anything up else. I think we got I think I covered everything I wanted to cover this on live stream. So last few minutes, if anybody else has any comments, questions, fire them away. We'll get those answered. And if not, we will be scheduled another live stream for tomorrow morning. We do these Monday to Friday, so it will be up tomorrow for 8 o'clock. You can check that on the channel. You get notified. It comes on. I think most people know the drill. And you're on. Yeah, good luck. It's tax time, Vic, and it's I think probably the worst time to try and call them. You'll be lucky. You'll be lucky if you get them before your tax deadline. That's for sure. On that note, on tax deadline, today's the last day for RSPs. So if anybody wants to get that last minute little bits into their RSP, don't forget. I think you have until is it 9 o'clock Eastern time before. So you have to or 9 o'clock. I think you'd want to get it in before the end of the day, before banks close. But I think today's the last day, right, to get that in. I did that last week. Was able to finish up for RSP. It's RSP time, and now it's tax time for everybody. Not a good time of year. It would be. It would. I wish we didn't have. You'd always wish I hate doing the tax time, even though I have like an accountant that does it. It's still having to get it all together and send them everything. It doesn't. It's never fun to do tax time, but it is what it is. You got to pay them. So hopefully, Vic, you get through. Put it on hold with a speaker in your phone, and you might get through by the end of the day, which I doubt, but. And there you go. Yeah, get one last deposit for your RSP, then it will carry over till, or if not, if you don't get it, it won't carry over till next year. But there we go. That's it. All right. Thanks everybody. Again, thanks to all of everyone that joins us live in the morning. Do really appreciate it. But also to extra special thanks to everybody. There's been a few people that's been joining as the channel members, so just give them a shout out as well. I know a few of them are still here. Candace, I just saw your comment come up, so again, thank you, Candace, for subscribing as a member. Really appreciate. Kind of helps out the channel and encourages me to learn more and share more and put more stuff out for these for the members that decide to take it to that next level. But again, and we had Nadia that was in earlier. I don't think she's still watching, but Nadia again was a channel member as well. So thank you, Nadia. And that's all the channel members I saw on the stream today. But if anybody else is watching that hasn't said anything, that and you know who you are, thanks. I do really appreciate it. We're gonna have more stuff going on that channel membership thing. But again, like I said, for everybody that's out there, there is a kind of a video on my. If you click on the join tab, there's a video talking about the memberships. It's don't be obligated at all. You're not going to lose out on any. You're not going to lose out on any information by not being a member. It's just kind of some extra little perks that I'm able to give out to the members. But you won't be missing anything. You'll still be getting access to, the live streams will keep going. The portfolio updates will keep going. You'll have all that kind of stuff just on the regular channel. And I just appreciate everybody that watches the live streams, watches my regular videos, and it's always good to have everybody here. And MC, you made it literally right at the end. It's always good to have you here. You'll have to go back and watch that. You'll have to go watch that replay when you get a chance. And there we go, everybody. We'll leave it with Candace's last comment. Have a great rest of the day. I'm off to work. Hopefully your day is good. And I'll be watching that. Don't forget, it will be Tesla's Investor Day later on today. So maybe give that a watch if you're interested in Tesla, and the Investor Day if you're invested in Tesla. There we go. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you all tomorrow in the next one.